Welcome back, y'all. The next episode of Don't Do That on Epic Fridays. I hope y'all ready for the weekend because we are here. It is here, and I hope you are ready. So, to get us off started, smoke of the Ep. It's going to be Loco, Diamond Dupes, infused pre-rolls, Raspberry Crave. Some really good stuff, tastes very flavorful. All right, so now we have an update. I know I'm a little late on this when it comes to Robert Brooks, but we have an update on the court date that they had recently. And then we also have involving the DEI, as always, when it comes to getting rid of programs and state-funded programs and all that stuff. They got rid of, it's a program called LIHEAP. I'll let you know exactly what that means here later on. So, what are your topics for today, good sir? Just a brief description real quick.
Well,
Brief description.
Brief description. We are going to talk about this menace to the streaming platform called Hip Hop Strikes Back. It is at 400 plus streams now in the last 48 hours. And this is a song from that release, Dave.
Boy, and I ain't know.
But we're going to talk about Val Kilmer. Passed away.
Rest in peace, bro.
Rest in peace. You know him as Doc Holliday. You know him from Top Gun. You know him from Willow. You know him from Batman. We lost somebody in Hollywood. Val Kilmer passed away. And also, not really all that related, but in someone's passing, today, April 4th, happy birthday to Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. He is
birthday.
60 today.
60 years old.
60 years old. But we got
right.
other stuff that's heavier than that. I just wanted to get those out the way because the topics I have, one deals with Trump, deals with those tariffs again, and China is responding.
All right. Well, get right into it. Let's talk about Robert Brooks. Because that guy right there, he needs a lot of our attention. All right, because
he does.
There's no way at the end of the day, these plea deals are, I mean, at the end of the day, plea deals for murder, there should be no plea deals, especially if you're an official like that, because you're held at a much more, caliber of responsibility.
Police officers,
period. Correctional officers, police officers. So corrections officers charged in beating death of Marcy inmate offered plea deals. Yeah, plea deals, you guys, plea deals.
Plea deals for what? Everybody saw the damn film. There ain't no plea deal. Y'all motherfuckers guilty as hell. Jail time.
Guilty. Prison time.
Guilty. What the hell?
Special prosecutor Bill Fitzpatrick and Judge Brewer or Brower, it's weird how to pronounce his name, agreed to plea deals. Now, during
plea deals in a trash can.
During a pre-trial hearing on Monday, Special Prosecutor Bill Fitzpatrick, the Onondaga County District Attorney, confirmed with Robert Brewer and each defense team that everyone had the disposition paperwork to consider guilty pleas, whether or not they wanted to do it or not. But the Attorney General says on December 9th, Mr. Brooks was transferred from Mohawk Correctional Facility to Marcy Correctional Facility, both in Oneida County. Mr. Brooks, who was handcuffed with his hands behind his back, was then taken to a medical examination room where the events captured in the video took place. Mr. Brooks was then transported to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead in the early morning hours of December 10th. Now, the video released is very graphic.
Yeah.
Very graphic.
Yeah, they beat him to death.
It shows multiple officers striking Brooks with fists, kicking him and grabbing and pulling him by the neck. Brooks can be seen in the video with blood streaming down his face. He died the next day. Now, all 10 officers appeared in court on Monday, all of them free on the time being, after posting bail of a lengthy of violent charges leveled against them in February. It's a case with national attention given the brutality of what was caught on camera, sparking condemnation and promised reform by the governor herself.
You're sending the wrong message, sending those men home as if they're
Yeah.
just getting a slap on the wrist.
Now,
Because I'm keeping it all the way real. If that was going on in my town,
ain't
a
no
lot
way.
of them police officers wouldn't make it back to court, or they wouldn't have made it home. Facts.
Ain't no way.
You wouldn't have made it to the
Now,
crib.
it says there are a couple of statements highlighted by the defense in here. The motion that could be interpreted going above and beyond simply stating facts. The judge had said, who ultimately stopped short of issuing any direct order related to attorney's speech. And then Fitzpatrick did assure that the court that he was doing everything by the book. And there's nothing else that he needs to do except by the book. It's all right there, all in color. I'm not going to make any unethical or prejudicial comments. He said, I like to try my cases once. Now, each defendant is due back on agreed dates throughout April to respond to the plea deals. So these are the plea deals. I mean, these are what they are charged with. Nicholas J. Anzalone, age 44, from Lee Center, New York. Murder in the second degree, Class A1 felony. Manslaughter first degree, Class B felony. Offering a false instrument for filing first degree, Class E felony. David J. Kingsley II, age 44, from Adams, New York. Murder in the second degree, Class A1 felony. Manslaughter first degree, Class B felony. Anthony R. Farina, age 49, from Oneida, New York. Murder second degree, Class 1 felony. Manslaughter first degree, Class B felony. Christopher Walrath, age 36, from Little Falls, New York. Murder in second degree, Class A1 felony. Manslaughter first degree, Class B felony. Matthew J. Gallagher, age 43, from Clinton, New York. Murder in the second degree, Class A1 felony. Manslaughter first degree, Class B felony. Gang assault, second degree, Class C felony. Nicholas J. Kiefer, age 33, from Wrightsboro, New York. Murder in the second degree. Manslaughter in the first degree. Gang assault in the second degree. Offering a false instrument for filing in the first degree. Michael Mashaw, age 47, from Boonville, New York. Manslaughter, second degree, Class C felony. Michael D. Fisher, age 54, from Rome, New York. Manslaughter, second degree, Class C felony. David K. Walters, age 36, from Rome, New York. Manslaughter, second degree, Class C felony. And last but not least, Nicholas J. Gentile, age 36, from New Hartford, New York, tampering with physical evidence, Class E felony.
Oh, so he tampered with physical evidence.
Yep. And it's, to me...
But everybody went to the crib, though.
Yep, everybody's home. Everybody is home. Living the good life. While Robert Brooks is living his life 6 feet freaking deep right now. You guys are offering plea deals.
Ask, where's the justice in that?
Where's the justice in plea deals, period?
Like, if you got physical evidence, it's not a body cam, it's footage.
Literal
of them beating
footage
this man
of
to
this
death.
man being beat to death.
In all types of different ways, being beat to death by different assailants.
Drowned to death on his own blood.
And they went home.
And they get to be home right now. Eating with their family, cuddling with their children.
Sitting in their chair, watching their sports, talking shit on the phone to their boys.
Yeah.
There's no justice in that. None.
Governor, you need to be doing a little bit more. There shouldn't be any kind of plea deal for these dudes, bro.
I mean, I watch a lot of TV, and it's like tampering with evidence,
Like,
bad, you know,
gang violence.
bad.
I mean, they literally labeled the assault as a gang violent assault,
but still sent them to the crib
and still sent them home. What kind of person needs to be around children like that? Women with a charge like that on them.
Things will change, and they will change abruptly, and people will look crazy as if they didn't understand why they changed. They'll say, "Oh, this happened suddenly."
No, it
How long have y'all been watching this
suddenly.
show? How long have y'all been watching this show? It ain't going on just like that. When it happened, it's gonna happen like that. But it ain't. It's been building and building. And
right here with y'all.
building.
Right here. All right, yeah. Yep, I'm gonna have to relight that boy.
Not really.
No? Are you able to suck on the joint? Thank you.
Yeah. So Donald Trump's being a
dick.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Pretty much.
All right.
As you see, what has happened is effectively April 10th, China will impose 34% tariffs on U.S. products. 34%.
Oh, I wonder what happens with GM products that we decided to ship over there.
So, soybeans and all of this stuff that we get from over there, they're going to just it is officially being called a trade war. I watched a lot of CNN and MSNBC clips so that I could study up on this particular part of the show. And a lot of people are up in arms about this. Stock market is having a problem. A lot of investors are having a problem. A lot of big business is having an issue.
Oh, amazing. Even hitting his colleagues' pockets too, huh? Do you gotta fund your wife over there that's living off of all the government assistance that you're cutting off from everybody else?
Well, we got 6 days.
Queen Musk.
6 days until everything goes into effect, to where the China tariffs will begin on U.S.
Sadly,
products.
I mean, what can you say? Where can you sit there and say that they're at fault? You can't just hit one person with tariffs and think that there's going to be anything else back and forth.
It's simple retaliation.
At the end of the day, it's nothing that we wouldn't have did in the process too. So, I mean, if I wouldn't have been surprised.
So, it is warm in here. So, I had a segment on superhero swag where I was trying to tell everyone this is all going to get more expensive. Yeah. And there are going to be cuts that are going to have to be taken. Shout out to Strong Collectors. They had a show where they were talking about the tariffs, and they were saying that there's a possibility that we won't see any Build-A-Figures in 2026 because extra plastic, extra cost. Another thing that they mentioned that I hope to God does not happen is that they might go back to windowless packaging to try and save money. Man. And I hope not, because I had 3 different instances with windowless packaging where I was trying to get Molecule Man. I was trying to get this guy right here. And you know what I did? I got a 2010 Mr. Sinister one time in that box. I got a 2009 Namor the Submariner in that box.
In my personal favorite.
And then I finally... What did I get? A
stapler.
Oh, I got a stapler too one time. A stapler because of windowless packaging. And then I finally got Molecule Man. So the tariffs are going to affect a lot of stuff. They're going to be trying to out tariff him, and he's trying to out tariff them, and trade war. Fun times. Fun times. Now, as I said, Val Kilmer passed away at the age of 65. I know him. The 4 movies that hit me hardest when I think of Val Kilmer are going to be Tombstone, I'll Be Your Huckleberry, Batman, him and was it Chase Meridian? Was it Chase Meridian? I think it was Chase Meridian when Val Kilmer was the Batman. Or was that George Clooney? Can't remember. But Val Kilmer was Batman.
With Mr. Freeze. And no, that wasn't Mr. Freeze. My bad, that was George Clooney.
Yep. See? They got him mixed up.
Oh God, what?
But he was also in Top Gun. Remember him in Top Gun?
Terrible.
He did come back for Top Gun Maverick. I think that was his last role that he played on screen before he passed away.
Yeah.
I remember him from Willow. That was one of my movies back in the day.
Makes me want to go and watch those movies.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch. Tombstone and watch that movie now, just as a tribute. But yeah, so he's gone, and we can celebrate with Robert Downey Jr. He is now 60 years old. He just had that birthday today. And what else did I have on my list? Oh boy! Hold on. Okay, so one of my favorite movies, hilarious. Gotta watch it if you have not watched it. Is Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I used to watch this movie.
Oh yeah.
And excuse me, it is hilarious. Hilarious. The movie is too funny. And that's where I was first introduced to Russell Brand. Russell Brand as Aldous Snow. You know, I feel like an African child. Man, that movie is crazy. But speaking of Aldous Snow, speaking of Russell Brand charged for a rape within the time frame of 1999 to 2005 by 4 separate women over in the UK. And the charges are rape, indecent assault, and sexual assault. Now, you might know Russell Brand from, like I said, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, or you may know him as a comedian, or you might know him in that one movie where he was in the movie with Jonah Hill.
Get Him to the Greek.
Yeah, and the Diddler was in the movie.
The Diddler. You should have known something was wrong.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean,
Jonah.
innocent until proven guilty.
Fair enough, but these, though, I believe that there's been a few
of
those allegations that have been brought forth upon him. So
I mean, he's had a little time. He was married to Katy Perry for 2 years, and he says that all of the stuff that he's done, he says he knows he's been promiscuous, but he has always had consensual sex. So maybe innocent until proven guilty.
Maybe he got a little bit too freaky and they didn't like it. Maybe he needs to go into full detail.
Yeah, because when you got money, you can't get too freaky. You can't get too freaky because they're gonna say,
because then you gotta,
"Hey, you did too much." But wait, you didn't. You I gave you a safe word. Oh, I don't remember that because you got too much money for me to remember that.
That's always why
I want the money, so I'm gonna forget.
An NDA needs to be made.
So you can't do the same thing you can do when you're just a regular person. When you get rich, everybody wants a piece of the pie. So he'll get his day in court on May 2nd, is what they're saying. He'll get his day in court. He's going to go in front of a magistrate, and he'll be they'll be looking for him to make a plea of guilty or not guilty to get these proceedings going.
Well,
so
all right.
I mean, I'm just hoping that it's not true. I like Russell Brand.
Right, I do too. But that it is what it is. Okay. So they decided they were going to fire the entire staff of a program that helps pay for heating and cooling for Americans throughout the year.
Now, why would they do that?
Oh, I mean, of course, because it's governmentally funded type of stuff. But I mean, I guess all taxpayers' money doesn't matter. So now, when you're eliminating the entire federal staff that's responsible for a program that millions and households depend on to stay warm and cool in the summertime, it's not reform. It is sabotage. It is considered sabotage. Now, Washington, the Trump administration has abruptly laid off the entire staff running $4.1 billion program to help low-income households across the United States pay their heating and cooling bills. Now, the firings threaten to paralyze the low-income home energy assistance program, which was created by Congress in 1981. Okay, it's been around for quite some time, and it helps to offset, high utility bills, and when it comes to like your heating and your cooling and whatnot, for roughly like 6.2, 6.3 million people, all the way from Maine to Texas. So it gets cold. It's been getting colder. It's been getting hotter. It's been, the weather has been different lately. Now they fired everybody. There's nobody left to do anything. That was said by Mark Wolf, the executive director of the National Energy Assistance Directors Association.
Sounds like my job.
Which works with states to secure funding from the program. Either this is incredibly sloppy, he had stated, or they intend to kill the program altogether. Now, the layoffs were part of a broader purge Monday to approximately 10,000 employees from the Department of Health and Human Services, DHS. As Health Security Robert F. Kennedy Jr. moved to drastically recognize the agency, roughly 25 employees had been overseeing the Energy Assistance Program, which is also known as the LIHEAP. Now, they all had been laid off. So, Congress had already approved $4.1 billion for the program for the fiscal year of 2025, and about 90% of the money had already been sent to the states in October to help households struggling with high heating costs. Now, there is still about $378 million left to assist with summer cooling as households crank up their air conditioners. Heat waves in the United States are growing more intense when it comes to how it's been getting with the warming. So normally the federal government sends out the money to the states agencies after allocating the funds using a complicated formula and performing various reviews and audits. Some states like Maine use the money to help low-income families to offset the cost of buying fuel, oil, or like heat or something like that for their homes in the wintertime. States also use the money to weatherize homes, which you'll get new roofing, new windows, and whatnot. Now, if there's no staff, how do you allocate the rest of this money? Wolf's fear is that they'll say, we've got this funding, but there's nobody left to administer it, so we can't send it out. Which is something that I would believe that they would say. Now, in an emailed statement, Emily Hillard, a spokesperson for the Department of Health and Human Services, said the agency will continue to comply with the federal law, and as a result of the reorganization, will be better positioned to execute and do all that good stuff. So, these people are just, it's mind-boggling how you take away something that's so big to people and think that it's okay, where you're cutting all these funding stuff, but you are continuously seeing how all of Elon Musk's stuff is getting funded. All government funding seems to be going to everything that he wants done. It's almost like I said, as if he is the single person on government assistance right now. You're cutting all this stuff, and yet this man is getting all the government assistance. How's that going for y'all big businesses over here doing with all this tariff war here? Do you guys need a little bit of government assistance? You might want to go ask Musk. He's getting all of it.
I'm sure there's a plan amongst them.
For
them.
Of course there is. You guys are, oh my God. So you guys try to bundle up or open some windows or something. Hell, I don't know. Get rid of them damn ACs because you're not going to have no help when it comes to this. So, fuck it. All right, guys. So we will now end this off. We will see you next time on Monday on the next episode of Don't Do That. And I'm pretty sure we'll find something to be mad as hell about. Until next time, guys. Peaces.